I know we're looking at why your CV isn't working in the US, UK, and Canada. Okay, I want to know where we are joining from. All right. So on the chat box, just type in where your location and where you're joining us from. Just from the US, you type in US, Canada, UK, Poland, Ireland. Just let me know where you're joining us from. Okay. Just take another 1 minute to do that. All right. Chima, first person joining from Nigeria. Okay. Animot is in the UK. All right. Let's go, guys. Let me know where you are from. Okay. Just two people have told me where they are joining us from, Prosper and Animoto. Andrew Oladimeji is from Canada. All right, that makes sense. Linda Omololu Foster, Joyce in the US, Sadiq the UK, Inte from Canada. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so like I said, Foster from the USA. Okay, so we say Canada, UK. So there are mostly people from Canada here. Okay, and also the UK. I've only seen one person from Lithuania. Okay, that makes sense. In Europe. Okay, one person from Lithuania, one from the US. Adewale is joining from Canada. All right. So amazing, guys. Okay, amazing. All right. I'll take questions at the end of the session. Okay, if you have any questions, you can just write it down, and once we are done, okay, you can then ask questions. Okay, now I'll be sharing my screen in a minute. Okay, and like I said, if you have any questions, please write them down. We'll take questions. Okay, we all are here to learn. Okay, all right, so let me know if my screen is up. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, hold on a minute. Okay. Please give me a thumbs up if my screen is up. Give me a thumbs up. Beautiful, beautiful. Amazing. All right. So why your CV isn't working in the UK, US, Canada job market? That is what we want to discuss today. Okay. Why isn't your CV working? All right. And if we have time, we'll actually yes, Foster, before we begin, do you have a question you want to ask?
It's basically an offering to celebrate.
Yes.
Part of his culture.
Maybe if you want to mute if you're not speaking, please kindly mute your mic, okay? Thank you. Foster, do you have a question before we start? I think your hand is up. If you have any question, please just have it down, okay? Write it down and then we'll take it after the session, okay? So why your CV isn't working in the UK, US, and Canada job market, all right? Now, before we start, I'm going to tell you about myself, okay? Who is Abdul Rashid, all right? My name is Abdul Rashid, and I have well over 6 years of experience working in a variety of data roles, okay? And also, I'm a career coach. I've helped people transition into mostly the tech ecosystem, all right? And I've helped people that are not necessarily in the tech system get into tech, and people that generally are looking to secure interviews and jobs, okay? So people are stuck in a particular role, okay? They're looking to get a job. It doesn't have to tech anyway, okay? It can be anywhere, and I've helped them transition into that, okay? So also, because I'm into the tech space, I've also trained well over 1,000 people, all right, into data analytics, data science, and data engineering, all right? So I've worked in different ecosystems, all right? But majorly, I also do career coaching where people are trying to navigate the complexities of the modern job market. How do you get a job? Oh, I'm stuck. I want to do this. I do X. I want to move into Y. Okay. I'm very good at what I do, but I don't seem to get interviews. I don't seem to get jobs. Do you, what do I do? Okay. So I help people that are stuck. Okay. And basically trying to navigate the job market. All right. That is a summary of who Abdul Rashid is. Okay. Now, what we're discussing today, all right, is why is it that most um uh international CVs are automatically rejected in the UK, US, and Canada, and in Europe generally, to be very honest. Okay, what is actually wrong with the CV? Some people feel they have a very good resume, but they don't get feedback. They don't get callback from recruiters. They apply to a good number of jobs and they don't get called back. What is happening? Okay, what is wrong with your CV? Sometimes it's not because you're not good at the job, it's because your CV in itself is not good enough to get you a callback from recruiters. Okay. We'll also be looking at how applicants tracking system really screens your CV. All right. Smart tips to make your CV stand out and what Western recruiters actually look for when they scan your CV. Because truth is, it takes about 6 seconds for recruiters to decide on your CV. Now, before it even gets to a human, all right, what we call ATS, all right, which is the applicant tracking system, we actually screen your CV before it gets to a human. So this is what is happening. Okay. You are very good at what you do. You have the experience. Okay. But before a human gets to see that CV, all right, ATS has told the human, like, look, this CV, you don't need to waste your time on it. Because the truth is, when, say, for instance, now you have about 150 people apply to a job, you don't expect the recruiter to go through all 150 CVs. It is impossible. Okay, almost impossible. Okay, so what they then do is have ATS screen these CVs. Okay, so left to you, you've written something that, oh, this should get me the job. All right. In reality, you're actually the best person for the job because at the end of the day, the person that gets that job may not even be half as good as you. But because your CV is not allowing a human see it, it gets screened out. Okay. So you need to have a very good resume that allows you, that passes through the ATS and gets in front of a human. So you know, kind of say, oh wow, Oladimeji, this person is a good person, is a good fit for the role that we're actually hiring for, and they get to speak with you. Okay, so all of this we'll look at, all right, and what you need to do to make your CV stand out. All right, we'll look at all of these today. Now, ATS is looking your CV. About 90% of companies use ATS. Like I said, people are applying for jobs. All right, you have a good number of people that are applying for jobs. Like I said earlier, 150 people apply for a job. Some even get more than that. All right, you put a job out there, put a job post out there, and then you see well over 200 people that are applying for that job. All right, like I said, it's almost impossible for a human to go through those CVs. It is daunting to look at those CVs. Okay, so ATS is what we scan it. All right, if it does not pass the ATS, it just get dumped. So what then happens is maybe they pick the best 5 CVs. All right, that have passed through ATS. These are the CVs that a human will look at, not because those people are essentially the best people for that role, but because ATS has said these 5 people are the best people for the role. In reality, they may not be. You might be the best person, but because your CV is poorly written, okay, it's not ATS friendly, it gets screened out. All right, and then the 5 people that have been shortlisted are the people that get to speak with the recruiters, and from those 5 people, they pick the number, maybe 1 or 2 people that they want from those 5. All right, whereas you are there, the best person. Okay, now I have actually seen a good number of CVs that are actually, for lack of better words, poorly written. Now, when I got to speak with those people, I found out that they are actually good at what they're doing. They just don't have the CV. Now, this is a very rare case where, because I actually went to the CV myself, I, eventually, will send them an email and spoke with them. Okay. Now, imagine a case where, and they did get a job anyways. Now, imagine that I didn't go through this personally. So if you're not speaking, you want to meet him. All right, thank you. All right, so what was I saying? Yeah, so imagine I didn't get to look at those CV myself. All right. It would have been a case of, oh, this person a good fit. All right. Now, and I found out a number of things that were done wrong on those CVs. Okay. One of them even had their picture on the CV. Now, if you're not going for um um a role that has to do with modeling, okay, your picture have no business being on your CV. Okay, it is a red flag when I see a picture of yourself. I don't want to see your face. Okay, I'm more interested in what you can do for the company. All right, not what your face looks like. You are dark, bare. It doesn't matter. You use glasses. This is not what I want to see. I don't have any reason to look at your face. What I'm most interested is how you can impact, okay, what we are looking for. How are you the best fit for that role? Okay, that is one. All right. CVs I've actually seen also have, they lack job specific keywords. For instance, you are applying for a data analyst role. All right. And on the on the CV, I don't see, or I barely find anything that has to do with SQL, Power BI, Excel, Tableau in it. Okay. I rarely see these things. And I'm looking at the CV. Are you actually a data analyst? And on the CV, you have said, oh, you're a data analyst with well over 5 years of experience. And I'm not saying where you have used Power BI. I'm not saying where you have used Looker Studio. I'm not saying where you've used Excel. Okay, so how do I then know that you are the person for the role? Now, this is even me. Before it gets to me, the ATS is scanning this. If it does not see this keywords, is going to dump it naturally. In reality, you might be a very fantastic Power BI user. Okay, your SQL skills might be top notch, but because the ATS is not seeing these specific keywords, it then dumps it. All right, the person that has these keywords on their CV, all over their CV, all right, we get called back from the recruiter because on their CV it has these keywords that the ATS is looking for. Okay, so if you're looking for if a company is hiring for, say, um looking for a different career path now. Okay, let's say, um let's still use data analyst for instance. Okay, they're hiring for data analyst. Okay, and I'm seeing things like Jira, for instance, on your resume. Okay, I'm not saying what tools data analyst, or let's say it's even a data scientist role. All right, I'm not saying anything that has to do with Python on your CV. Do you understand? So before it gets to the recruiter, the ATS will just kind of like, nah, this is not the best person for the role. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, no lack of job specific keywords. Okay, your CV lack job specific keywords, All right. Another thing also is poor formatting. Okay, I'm going to be sharing us some CVs that we're looking at together, and I've actually had to look at CVs of people that actually has very poor formatting. Okay, poor formatting. It's just horribly wrong. Okay, everything is not aligning. All right. Sometimes you even notice that the font used on a particular line is different from the font used, the font size, the font type. Okay, it's used the wrong way. And then you begin to wonder, how are you supposed to get a job with this CV? Okay, somebody sent me a CV of recent and they were to apply for a role. And I told them, don't bother. If it's this CV you're going to use, don't bother, because when I looked at it, I did not even read through the content of that CV. I just knew that this was wrong. And I didn't bother looking at it, okay? Because if you send this CV, easy to apply, it's going to, nobody give back to you, okay? You just be wasting your time expecting feedback from the because that will never come. Okay, so again, if you're not speaking, please mute your mic, okay? Thank you. All right. So I had told the person, just don't worry, okay? Go and look at this CV. This CV you are using to apply will not get any results. So I think this is Woki. All right. You mind muting your mic, please? All right, thank you. All right, can we see my screen, guys? Are we still together? Please give me a thumbs up if you're still here, if you're still following. All right. NWC Adewale, beautiful. All right, that makes sense. Just two people, three people at one. All right, Sunday is also here. Okay, amazing. Amazing, amazing, guys. All right, let's go ahead. Now, like I said, so if all of these things now, as cliche as it might sound, people still make mistakes. They still make grammatical errors on their CVs.
Celebrating 40 years of
All right, people still make grammatical errors on their CVs. All right, where they are making simple grammatical errors. All right, past tense in place of, you just notice that, like, how is this written? Is this written by a 2-year-old? Is it written by a 5-year-old child? Do you understand? Because, and then you begin to wonder. And in reality, these people are actually very good. Okay, in reality, they are very good. But how are they making these mistakes? Okay, it's because you don't know how to write a proper CV. And the truth is, what you don't know it. Okay, no matter how simple something is, if you don't know it, you don't know it. Okay, it's as simple as that. So people then you begin to wonder why you don't get callbacks. Okay, your CV is filtered out before a human sees it. Okay, it is not does not get to the table of the recruiter, so don't even expect callback. All right. And then CVs, you have a CV that is, you are listing duties and not results. I think some of us can actually, relate to this, where most of the CVs is actually things like, I handled customers, I'm responsible for, for reports. These are not what you want to send your CV. Okay. If you cannot quantify your CV and then tell us the outcome of what you did, okay, all right. So this is how every work experience should be. Okay. Every bullet point, okay, should be how you used X to do Y, which led to Z. Okay. I used X to do Y, which led to Z. All right. I use Power BI, okay, to create financial report for the business, which led to a, let's say, which led to a 5% 5% increase in revenue kind of thing. Okay, I use X to do Y, which led to Z. You have quantified what you have done, and then you set the outcome and also the impact it created on the business using numbers. Does that make sense, guys? Do you get what I'm saying? How you are able to um uh quantify what you have done. While quantifying, you've also said the outcome of it and then the business impact. Because when a job post is out there, what people want to see is, how are you able, or how are you able to also create or get a result. Okay, so if I'm saying on my CV, I've done this thing for my previous organization, okay, it then means that what, I can also replicate it and even do better for you because I've done it before. Okay, but if my CV is just telling you how I was able to handle customer, how I was responsible for reporting, what am I saying? Okay, so what? Okay, but if I'm telling you that what I did in my last organization using a particular tool actually gave us an increment in which actually led to an increase in revenue or increase in profit, of course I want to speak to you to, like, okay, how did you do it? Okay, or how do you intend also doing it for us? How do you know what I'm saying? Okay, what tools do you use in doing it? Then now I'm more intrigued to actually speak with you. Okay, I want to then like know how you did it in person now. Okay, so of course via, it will be an on-site meeting, it will be virtual meeting, whatever it is. I can then ask you questions on, to know what you did, how you did it, what other tool can you use. Of course, whoever is interviewing you also has experience or knowledge about what you're looking out for. Okay, I can then question you for that. So, okay, you do this, you do that. I'm like, yeah, 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 I was able to do this. Because at the end of the day, right? I saw a post that more than 70% of the people that get to the interview, okay, get the job. All right. Because if you are going for an interview, the recruiter has seen your CV. Now, why they are calling you to speak with you is because your CV has told the entire story. Now, your CV, how I like to see CVs is more like a ticket to a show. Say, for instance, you're going for a concert, okay? You're going for a whiskey show, for instance, or any show or any concert. All right, before you are let into the into the wherever the show is happening, okay, into the center, you need to have paid, okay, and then when you pay, you basically show them your ticket, right? Now, your CV is your ticket to getting inside the room. Okay. Now, people will say, "Oh, I want to meet Elumelu," but when you meet him, what can you then tell him? Well, what will you tell him? Okay. Do you understand? But to meet him, you need a ticket. So to get into a show or to get into a concert, you need a ticket. Now, your CV is that ticket. Your CV needs to open that door for you. So when you get into that room, you then need to now bamboozle the recruiters, tell them about yourself, what you can do, you know, and that is the easiest part. Because they've got to go into your CV, they've seen what you can do. You are only reiterating what you've said on that resume. As easy as that. Okay. And the interesting part is that if you're able to do that, your interview will end up looking like a discussion. I always say it, when you're having an interview, it should be like a discussion, because you and the recruiters will end up even talking about things that are not interview related. I've been into interviews where I was speaking with the recruiter, and honestly, at some point, he started telling me about his family. We left the interview. We are done with it in just a couple of minutes. Okay. But the most difficult part was me writing my CV to pass through ATS, tailoring my CV to that job description, passing the ATS, and letting them speak with me. Okay. So your CV should you should quantify your CV. Okay. Look at Don't to see outcomes and also the impact of what you did on that business. Anybody that sees that and is hiring, they want to speak with you, because come replicate this for us, okay? So that is what it is. All right. Don't list duties. All right. Don't list duties. All right. So now, another mistake people make is they use one generic CV. If you think that once using one CV to apply to different jobs will get you results, I'm sorry to tell you, you will not get results. Okay? There's no way you are getting results using just one CV. Now, company A is looking for a data analyst. Company B is also looking for a data analyst, right? They are both recruiting for data analysts. Now, company A have listed the job description. They've told you they want someone that can use Excel and Tableau, right? Company B is saying they want someone that can use Excel and Power BI, right? Two different companies, right? The tool they want is company A, all right, is Excel, Tableau. Company B is Excel and Power BI. Now, you now have a CV, okay? That on your CV, what you have, okay, is SQL, Excel, and Tableau, okay? You then apply, that's your master resume. You then use that CV to apply to company A, all right? And use it to apply to company B as well. Company A will most likely call you back or want to speak with you. There's no way company B will call you back, because what you have said you can use is not what they are looking for. So if you don't tailor your CV to that job description, they wouldn't call you back. Nobody is going to email you telling you to speak with you, have an interview, which is not possible, because if you use Tableau, that's fine. That's a tool that they are not looking out for. What the company uses is Power BI. So it's never going to pass through ATS, because ATS will be scanning for Power BI, Excel. Now, yours is carrying Excel but no Power BI. And it's seeing Tableau. What is searching for is Power BI, but it's not there on your CV. So they wouldn't call you back, to be very honest, because it does not carry what they are looking for. So a human can understand, like, oh, Tableau is a tool that, most like, if you can use Tableau, it is very possible or very likely that you can use Power BI and Looker. Okay, I can understand that and say, oh, have a call with you and say, ah, Chinonso, what you use is Tableau. What our company uses is Power BI. Is that something you can use? That is a different thing. But imagine it passing through ATS. It doesn't even get to the human to even ask you that question. The ATS is going to just screen you out automatically, thinking that you are not a fit for our role. Okay. So using one CV to apply to multiple job roles will not get you the result. All right. You need a company is looking for let's say VP. Let's look at the company is looking out to hire somebody that is uh let's say senior data analyst, or let me not use, I've used that um, job title too many times. Let me look for something else. Let's say we are looking for um head of operations, for instance. Okay. And your CV does not carry head of operations. All right. Let's even assume that you are a manager, let's assume you're a manager. All right. However, your job in itself can fit for VP and fit for head of operations. Okay. Now, what you then need to do is make sure that that job title, okay, carries what the company is looking for. Okay. Yes, what you currently are doing is not stated exclusively as uh, sorry, it's not explicitly as head of operations. Okay, but what you currently do is just a different title, same job but different title. You need to then change, the title of what you are applying to, what you're doing to match what you're applying to. That way, company then sees that, oh, this role that they are recruiting for, you've done it before. It is easier to call you back. Okay, so you need to have a matching job title. It might not be verbatim, it might not be explicitly the way they're looking at they have it there, but let it carry something in that line. Okay, so we've said your CV has to be tailored to the job description. You need to have a matching job title, all right, and then tailor your skills and experience. Very important. Okay, they are looking for people that can do XYZ. Your CV is saying you can do ABC. It will not work. I'm looking for XYZ, you have ABC. We have no business calling you. The ATS has no business in letting allowing your CV pass through, because it is not what it is looking out for. It's that simple. So in summary, you cannot use one CV to apply to multiple roles. Yes, it is not easy tailoring your CV to every job you are applying to, but that is the only way to get results. Okay. Now it is easier when you have a master resume. If you have one good resume written, okay, one very good CV written, it is then easier to tailor your CV to match or any job you are applying to. Okay, that is what it is. All right. But if you then think that, oh, you just click on the job, apply, attach your CV, apply. Next one, attach CV, apply. Cover letter, apply, apply, apply. And then you'll be like, oh, I've been applying for jobs, I'm not getting results. It is because you are doing it the wrong way. Again, no matter how simple something is, if you don't know it, you don't know it until you learn it. Okay, so all of these things are mistakes people make when they are applying for jobs. All right, when they're applying to jobs, they make these mistakes, and then you then wonder why you don't get fallback. So one CV for 100 jobs equals zero traction. Nobody will call you back. Your CV cannot pass through 8 years. Has poor formatting, grammatical error, job title is not it, the skills and experience is off. You are just screaming the wrong candidate. Okay, what you are screaming is what? Wrong candidate. All right, and that's what it is. Now, before we go ahead, please. Okay, I need somebody raise your hand, but please, you can just write down your questions, and we will take questions after, when we're done. Okay, are we together, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you are following. If you are enjoying the class, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, beautiful. All right. All right. Now, your CV is not market position. Now, companies out there, okay, they do role-based hiring, all right, and not talent pool hiring. Now, nobody will ask you who is smart. All right, like I said earlier, nobody's looking at who is smart. They want to know people that can solve problem in that role. That is why when your CV is, like I gave example earlier, using X to do Y, which will then lead to Z. All right. How you're able to use a particular tool to solve this, which gave. So if they are saying that your CV, you've done this in the particular on the previous job role, okay, where you have been able to use this tool, okay, to do something which led to a result, then you solve a problem. They've seen it. Okay, it's just then left for them to then ask, invite you, speak with you, and then you then talk more about what you have done in just your experience. Okay, so it's not about who is smart, it's who can do this. Okay, if you're hiring, even if you are the CEO of a company, okay, or you are the head, you are the founder of a company, what you want to hire, we want to hire is people that can get a task done. Okay, people that can get the task done, and who can get the task done is, is from their CV. Okay, hence why I said your CV is your ticket, okay, to getting into your room with the recruiters. All right, now why your CV is not market position. uh Now, you're looking at rules for customer support. Let's look at, for rules of customer support, admin, sales, data marketing, whatever sector, whatever job you're actually applying for. Okay. Uh, Recruiters cannot tell what problem you solve. Okay. Recruiters cannot tell what problem. Now, like I said earlier, imagine, let me give an instance. Let me give an instance. I think I probably need to also show you one of the CVs. I don't use data anymore. Okay, maybe I'll actually show you guys um when I actually show you a CV. I want to explain to show you guys. Anyways, now if your CV cannot tell a recruiter why you are the best, like I say, sometimes you see well over 500 people that are applying for a job. All right, people are actually job hunting. If you go on LinkedIn, for instance, go on LinkedIn and you see a job that's been posted for maybe that was posted maybe an hour ago, and then you see over 100 people have applied for that job. Okay, so what makes you the best person for that job? Okay, what's giving you an edge over 100 people that have applied in 1 hour? If you go back after 2 hours, it's well over 200 people that have applied. Okay, so how do you get noticed? Okay, how does your CV get past the ATS? Okay, if you, like I said earlier, it takes about 6 seconds for a recruiter to look at your CV and to tell you that no, you are not the right person. Okay, I told you earlier about how I saw somebody's CV and I told them don't apply for that role, they won't call you back. Okay, don't apply, they won't call you back because your CV is definitely not it. From the formatting, I did not even look into the experience. There's no need. Okay, formatting was wrong. Okay, so it's more like you're wasting my time, and you can see your CV like wasting my time, just drop it. Okay, all right. So it is very important to make your CV catchy. That before you even read it, okay, before any recruiter even goes through your CV, they're like, nah, I want to, I'm going to speak with you. I'll just give you this example every time. That back then in uni, there was a, a friend of my classmate then. Whenever she answers her question, when you look at her booklet, you'll be impressed. You want to mark it because it is neatly written. Okay, very neatly written. All right, no mistakes, no error. Because what she does is she first off answers the questions in pencil. Okay, then make sure that it is then there are no mistakes. Okay, writes it, write a mistake, she erases it, writes with pen. So when she's done, she then writes with pen. After writing with pen, erases the entire thing and dust it. And then she will dust her booklet. And then you see a very clean um booklet. So when you even mark the first one, by the way, it's actually very answer are mostly right. So when you start marking, just you tend to just start the marking. So when you see your CV, when I see your CV and I'm able to, it's neatly written, nice formatting, what everything in place. I'm seeing your email in hyperlink, your the link to your link in hyperlink. So when I want to even send an email, I just click on it, just into your email, and then we are invited for it. So it's easy, okay? So your CV does not, in 6 seconds, I should be impressed. Otherwise, there's no need. Then what are we doing here should be the question, okay? All right. Now, your CV is not failing because you're not good enough. Like I said earlier, oftentimes people that are actually invited for interviews are not even better than or are not as good as the people that were not even called, but they just have better CV. Okay, your CV is not what's failing you. Your CV it's not because you're not good enough. Your CV is what is not getting you to that room. Okay, by the time you fix your CV, you definitely get interviews. Okay, your CV is good enough. It is 8 years friendly. It will definitely get you inside the room. Okay, before I actually go ahead, I want to take a pause here. Okay, I've been talking for a minute. Okay, let me understand what's happening. If we actually are able to get one or two things from what I've said or from what I've been saying. Okay, I know we have questions. Okay, and I expect that we should have questions. Okay, once like I said, once we are done, we're going to take these questions. All right, so let's go back in there and continue. All right, now there are different ways for you to actually have your CV done. Okay, different things to aid your CV writing. Now, you always see out there say, oh, use ChatGPT, use this. I agree, but at the same time, when using ChatGPT or any AI tool for that matter, you need to be careful at your CV so it does not sound too AI. Now, your CV is looking as though AI has written everything for you. It's a bit of an error, okay? It still will not pass through 8 years, okay? However, it will aid you in writing your CV, especially when you have a master resume. Okay, your CV, you can then use that master resume to tweak whatever um job you are tailoring your CV to. Okay, so AI is there to help you. Okay, it's not to do the job for you, but to help you. Okay, so job analytics, Grammarly, a whole bunch of tools that can help you have your CV properly done. All right, are out there. All right. Now, um most, like I said, what I've said here is more up to 75% of job applications get rejected. Okay, it does not even pass through 80 years. You get to understand how this is a problem. Okay, where people that are actually very good at a job don't get called. All right, you've gone to trainings, you've taken exams, certifications are there, but you don't get called back. Okay, I spoke with somebody yesterday, and he said he does not know why he doesn't get called back from recruiters, and he's good. Okay, he's very good at what he does, but he said he doesn't get called back. That was the issue. And I mean, we spoke, look at the CV, and this CV, I told him, look, your CV is definitely an issue. Okay, not because you're not good, but it's not passing through 8 years. Okay, now focus on hard and not soft skills, and also avoid fuzzy words. Okay, you are saying you are using stuff like I report, or I work in a team of five, that, or that sort of see that you think you look at that you begin to wonder, how is this is an issue. Okay, for instance, now you work on a project. Let's not even assume you led that project. Okay, but you're part of the team that got that thing solved. Your CV should be what should be, you should be selfish in your CV. Okay, I did this. Okay, I did this. Do you understand? You don't want to make your CV sound as though you were just part of a team that where you start some idly by and did nothing and it was done, or you're just part of the people that saw it through. Okay, you want to be selfish when writing your CV. You have to talk about how personalized it, how you did it. All right. Now, important keywords should appear 2 3 times on your CV. Again, for instance, you're a data analyst, and I can't find Excel, Power BI, SQL appear multiple times on your CV. It is not going to work. Okay, even if you appear, some people feel like, oh, I've written Excel at some point in my CV. There's no need for it. Then everything becomes just fuzzy. There's no need. Okay, it's not going to pass through the ATS. Nobody will call you back for that. All right, those keywords need to appear multiple times on your CV. All right, the keywords should appear at least 2 3 times on your CV. Okay, that is then screaming what a data analyst. Okay, because what are you if you don't use these tools? All right, and also there, I don't have it here, but please, whenever you're writing your CV, it should not be, if you have between um maybe 6 to 10 years or 7 to 10 years, there's no reason why your CV should be more than 2 pages. If you have less than 5 years, your CV has no business being up to 2 pages. A page, you are done. Okay, because recruiters don't have time reading through 5 pages. Some people CV, you then even see them having their date of birth, their marital status, their location. This, why are you having your CV? Nobody cares about you. Are just wasting space having those things on your CV. Okay, what you have there, the link to your portfolio if you have any, the link to your LinkedIn, and the link to your Gmail. Okay, your email should be in hyperlink. Okay, so that once they click on it, it then takes them to your Gmail or takes them to your LinkedIn or them to your portfolio. Where you stay does not really matter. If you need somebody to get a job done for you, if they can do it, why do I care where you stay? Except, of course, if the job itself is location specific. Okay. Otherwise, generally, you have no reason to have your location on your CV. Okay. So that as well. Let your CV be very short, brief, and concise. Okay. 10 years experience, which is fine. Between 6 to 10 years experience, actually between 5, 6 actually 10 years, you have 2 pages. Okay. When you then have 25 years of experience, of course, now it gets to page 3. Okay. But less than 5 years, 1 page. 1 page. More than 1 page, you don't need it. Okay. You absolutely don't need it. All right. So now, how do you learn interviews? How do you learn interviews? You've written your CV, okay, and then you're then applying to one job in a day. Best believe nobody will call you. You most likely not get results, okay, because it's a game of numbers. All right, you need to know where to look. First off, your CV has to be on point. Okay, your CV has to be well written. Second of all, you need to know where to look. All right. Third of all, you need to put a good number out. So the more you put out quality applications, the most likely you get callback. Okay. Otherwise, generic CVs apply to 100 a day, you don't get result. Okay. It's best you apply to five um uh apply use a well written CV to apply to 5 jobs, 5 kilo jobs, okay, than using a generic CV to apply to 200 jobs. You will not get callback, okay. But 5 good applications in a day, okay, is better than you doing one. So you applying to even 10, 15 in a day. So the more you apply to, obviously, the better your chance of getting results. Okay. That's what we are basically saying. So if you don't apply to a good number of jobs, you will not get called back. So the more you put out, the higher the tendency of getting called back from recruiters. Okay. Now, this is where we come in. Having to do this every day is actually um it can be very tiring, to be very honest. Okay. Imagine you having to tailor your CV to every job position you're applying to. every job. It's going to be easy a lot. All right. But this is where we come in. Okay. We are saying, look, don't worry, Olawale. Allow us do the heavy lifting for you. Okay. Allow us do the heavy lifting for you. We'll apply to the, we'll tailor your job to every job skill. And now, aside that, because we now know where to look as well. Okay. Because we're in the business of having to get people the interview. All right. We want to get you in front of a recruiter. We want to get you, in the room where recruiters then speak with you. Okay. We know where to look, how to source for the jobs, and how to tailor your CVs to their job to get results. Okay. That is what we are going to do. Now, before we actually go into that, before we go into this, I'd want to um, see if we are still following Samson, Omolara, Melvin, Prosper, Chima. Are you guys here, guys? I hope you're following. Are you with me, guys? Beautiful. All right, beautiful. I've not talked about the references. You also need to change references to get certain jobs. Okay, let me finish, and I'm almost running up, and then we'll then take questions. Okay, does that work? A little beautiful. Yeah, don't worry, Luashe. Shegun, I'll take questions. Okay. Yes. All right. Beautiful. So, um, now is my screen back up, guys? Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Now, yes, Lara, I'll take questions when I'm done. All right. Now, so what we do, okay, we are going to look at your CV, look at your LinkedIn, review them, to make. Now, people will always think that the only way to get a job is by applying to jobs. Okay. How about if you reverse it? You in such a way that recruiters are then looking for you. Because the truth is, they need you just as much as you need them. Okay. They're not doing you a favor. All right. They need you to also help them do a particular thing that will help their company grow. Okay. So you need them, they need you as well. Okay. So if you are well positioned on LinkedIn, recruiters will reach out to you, hi, um, Olalekan, I see your profile and this, I think maybe a best match, best fit for this role. When will you be available for a quick call? Easy. Okay, nothing even beats that, because you have a position that when they search for business analysts, your name is coming up first, because um you have fixed your LinkedIn to the point where you get noticed by recruiters. Okay, so what we do at Talent Loop, we'll fix your CV, fix your LinkedIn. Okay, apply to jobs for you daily. All right, all of this while you just sit back and enjoy. Allow us, you are doing the heavy lifting for you. Okay, everything we talk about today, we are going to do it for you. You don't even have to worry about it. Okay, we review your CV for you, review your LinkedIn, okay, and then apply to jobs for you. All right. And while we are doing this, we're going to get you interviews. Okay, we'll get you in front of a recruiter. Now, why we don't do jobs is because why we don't do jobs is because it takes both of us to get a job. Okay, Talent Loop and yourself. All right. If we get in front of a recruiter, you also need to do your path. Okay, by acing the interviews to get me a job. Okay, we'll fix your LinkedIn, fix your CV, apply to jobs for you, get you 3 interviews. All right, get you 3 interviews in about 8 weeks, and then we'll also prepare you for the interview. All you have to do is sit back, get the interviews. We'll prep you. You then need to go in there, 30 minutes is the interview, and you get your job. Okay, but what we're going to guarantee you is interviews. Okay, like I said, we'll get you into the room, we'll get you in front of the recruiter. I gave the instance of having you want to go to it, you want to go to a show. Okay, you need a ticket. That ticket will get it for you, get you in the room with the recruiter, and then you do your part and get in the job. Okay, so talent loop will do the heavy lifting for you. Okay, you don't need to worry about all of that stuff. Now we are currently have just nine slots left for the batch cohort, because what happens is we don't take people just the way they come in. Okay, we have the experts on already on ground. The moment we get people on board, once they get filled up, okay, we then move everybody to the next batch. Okay, is a the way of making sure that the experts don't get overloaded with work. Okay, once the number of slots we have available for that month is filled up, we then move everybody to the next batch. Okay, so that it gives the experts time to be able to do their job judiciously. Okay, it's not about overloading them. All right, it's about getting results. Okay, so we have just 9 slots left for the February batch. Now, some of you might be asking, "Oh, is this true? Have you done it before?" Now, these are some of the testimonials on the people that we've worked with. All right. Now, this is NA. Okay, NA, we work with NA. All right, and she landed a role in the UK as a data scientist. All right, she had done taking her training with analytics. Okay, after the training, she came to us, and then now she has experience. Okay, she knows how to do this, but I need to get a job. I need to get interviews. Okay, she came to us, she subscribed, paid, and we were able to get her the interviews and also prepped her. All right, she will prep her with for the interviews. Also, the assessment she had will also helped her with her assessment. And just 2 months working with her, she got the job. Remember that I said that in 8 weeks we'll get you 3 interviews in 8 weeks. Okay, this is NA. Now, not just NA. Okay, if I'm going to look at this, was NA's chat with the expert that was working with her. All right. Um, what she said, I got the offer, and then she just send a voice notes. Okay, we're all happy. Now, yes, we want to get you the interviews, but ultimately, it also gives us joy when you get a job. We're not all about, oh, get 3 interviews and we are done. Yes, get to the interview, but when you then go in there, that's why we're prepping you as well. We'll prep you, okay, you ace it, and then get a job, so that you can come back like NA and said, "Oh, I got the job." Okay. Because we work with people like Yetunde as well. Okay, that got job in the US. All right. She could not apply herself. Like I said, not because I mean, if you don't know how to do it, you know how to do it. Okay. So we have experts in house that does this thing. Okay. They are very good at this, help you apply, take the heavy lifting from you. Okay. Who take everything from point A to point Z. You just have to sit down and go for your interviews. Okay. While I mean, of course, most people are actually doing other jobs and like, oh, I need to get a better job, a better pay. I need to, leave this particular this. So go about your business with what you're doing, and we will then apply to the jobs for you and get you interviews. All right. Just like NA, this was 18 days chat um with the expert that was working with her. Also, she said, "Hi, I got the job." Okay. Now, again, Timidayo also worked with us. All right. Timidayo actually got a job as a Scrum Master. All right, in Canada, and Timidayo's was actually very it was amazing, because I know for it took us less than a month to get her the interviews. Okay, you get up to her and get an interview, and then she got about 4 interviews. We prepped her for it. She then took one of them, got the job, and didn't even bother about the rest anymore. Okay, this was Temidayo's chat. All right, Temidayo got the job. Said thanks a lot. I wanted to tell you that I got the offer from one of the companies interviewed. Okay, and it was amazing hearing this kind of thing from Temidayo. All right, like I said, ultimately it gives us joy when people that we work with get a job eventually, because we're putting a lot of effort in applying. We don't just apply. We've also got job board that we've subscribed to that will allows us some jobs that are not conventional sites, where we then get access to jobs, apply, tailor the CV to it, do the heavy lifting for you, and you then sit back, get an interview, get a job. Okay. Same thing, we have Messi, Cristiano. So for those that are actually still here, where I think if you fill the attendance form, okay, you're going to get access to this slide, and you can then listen to what Messi, Christiana have, said about working with us at Talent Group. And like I said, we are actually taking the February batch. All right. And these are our packages. Okay. We have three packages: the basic, premium, and comprehensive. All right. Now, what we do for the first package, which is the basic package, is we help you fix your CV. And some people will be like, oh, okay, do you know what? I have a time to apply myself. I just need a very good application material. Okay. My CV, my LinkedIn. If it's good enough, I have the time to apply myself. Then, okay, do you know what? You say, oh, I can tailor my CV to every job, which is fine. Okay. We'll do that for you, give you your CV, and then you apply. Okay, and also your LinkedIn actually. Okay, that is for $75 to do that for you. Fix your CV, give you a master resume, and will also give you a job search toolkit to enable you, job hunt as well. Okay, just not just giving your CV and LinkedIn, we'll give you a toolkit to help you also go search for jobs. All right. Now, the premium package allows us to do the heavy lifting for you. We'll fix your CV, fix your LinkedIn, we'll apply to jobs for you. We are assigned to an expert where you will have direct contact with. Okay, we'll then apply to jobs for you, get you three interviews. All right, get you three interviews and also give you a job. Most times, oftentimes, you might not even need a job set toolkit because we are doing the heavy lifting for you, but it's still part of the package where we'll give it to you. You can then go through it and see what it entails. Okay, that is for $250, right? Now, the comprehensive package is for $350. Now, what we do is everything the premium package offers, and also interview slash assessment preparation. Okay, you have an interview, you have an assessment. Okay, because sometimes, because hiring process is different for every company. Some companies will have the interview before the assessment. Some companies have assessment for the interview. So if you get an assessment, some people will have only interview, some have only assessments. Okay, whatever way it comes, we are going to help you prepare for it. Okay, an assessment will prep you for it, also give you an interview prep handbook and a job search toolkit. All right, while still guaranteeing you three interviews. Okay, which is for $350. Now, if you want to join the next cohort, okay, all you have to do, all right, is click on this link. Now, like I said, for those of us that are joining, those that have stayed to the end of this, okay, we have the link sent to the slide sent to you. Okay, I think my colleague has dropped the link to this, so you can fill the attendance form. We'll have this recording sent to you, and also the slide I've used. Okay, recording, you can watch this again, look at the slides, and go from there. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so we can all look at this link. All right, so hold on 1 second, guys. um so yes, can you guys see my screen? All right, beautiful. All right, so now if you click on that link, okay, it's going to take you to the package that we have. All right, there's actually a package that I have not mentioned. I want to tell you that about package right actually. Okay, I said earlier we have three packages. All right, now we actually have a fourth package, okay, which is called the platinum package. Now, what we do there is for those that in the UK, the US or Canada that actually need visa sponsorship. All right. Now, all of that we are saying today, okay, if you fill the form, all right, if you want to speak with us, you want to have a one-on-one discussion with us, you don't want to speak here, or you have a more personalized question, that's fine. Okay, once you feel it, we'll have a call with you. You can schedule a call with us one-on-one, and then we'll be glad, we'll gladly answer your questions. Okay, all right. If you want to speak with us one-on-one, book a client call with us, and we will also, my colleague will also drop the link. If you want to speak with us on the team, okay, you want to have a one-on-one session with us, please, you can also book, and then we'll happily jump on a call with you. Okay, so this package is for those that are actually um looking for sponsorship. Okay, so if you want to pay for or subscribe to any of the packages, okay, the package we have, let's say you want to subscribe for the comprehensive package, okay, which entails interview prep, getting you interviews, and also prepping you for the interviews. Okay, so this is the comprehensive, premium, basic, and um platinum. So if I'm going to comprehensive package, I'll click on this, okay, and it then takes me, you know to this link. Okay, take me to this link, and then all I have to do is what? Fill my details. Okay, sorry, not sure what's okay. Think, just hold on 1 second, guys. um you can please fill the form, or book a clarity call with us to have a one-on-one session with us. Okay, like I said, we'll happily jump on a call with you. Just 1 second, trying to, okay, okay, all right, I think it's up now. All right, okay, screen should be up now. All right, guys, so if you want to subscribe to any of the package, for instance, um you want to subscribe to the comprehensive or the premium or basic, as the case may be. Okay, so let's go with the premium package. If I click on this, okay, it's going to take me to a link where I can make payments. Okay, so all you have to do is fill this. Okay, you can see the fee here already. Okay, it's 250 dollars for the premium package. So you just fill in your details, and then you make payments, and done. Okay, so I'm going to fill in so I'm going to fill in my details. So fill in my details. All right, then input your card details, put your billing address, your cardholder name, and then you book. And then once you make payment immediately, all right, you get a form. Okay, you get a form where you can where you fill in your client information form, and then we'll also notify it, and you can also then have an onboarding with us. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Once you make payments, you get to fill your form. Okay, fill the form, and also you then book an onboarding, with us. As simple as that. So the onboarding is where we then talk about how we assign you to an expert that working with you. Okay, a personal. So it's a one-on-one thing with the expert that work with you, work with the expert, and then we will go from there. Okay, that's basically how it was. Pretty straightforward. But before all of this, please, like I said earlier, feel free to book a session with us. It's a free session. Book with us. Let's understand who you are and what you're looking out for, and how we can help you get there. Okay, as simple as that. All right. Now, For those of us that stay to the end of this program, is also actually what we do as well. For people that that are looking to pay in installments. Okay, for those of us that want to pay in installments, okay, we have a package for you guys. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to break the bank. Okay, you don't have to break the bank. You can actually pay in installments. All right. Now, also, this link will be sent to us or on the group as well for those of us that want to pay in installments. Oh, I want to subscribe, I want to reserve a seat for the February cohort. However, I'd like to deposit. Okay. That is also very doable. Okay. Um, Not sure why this is okay. All right. So this is for those that want to pay in installments. All right. So this link allows you to pay in installments. Oh, sorry. I think I have the wrong link. Sorry about that. I think I have the wrong link. Just hold on 1 second. Where is it again? Okay, Saints. Okay, all right. There we go. I think my screen should be up. Is it up, guys? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Okay, dollars for the first payment and then pay 90 just before it starts. Okay, so say I want to pay $160 for my first installment. I can just enter the value here, 160, and I'll make payments. Again, like the previous time I showed you guys, if you once you make payment, you get to fill a form. You fill a form and you book an onboarding with us. Okay. Once you've done that, you speak with a member of the team, okay, that will then, have this onboarding with you. And then, they will let you know the start date and everything that you need to do. And also assigning you to the expert that will be working with you, okay? This is for $160, okay? The first day for the first payment. Now, just before we begin work with you, okay, you will also need to complete your other part of the payment. Say you're making $160 now, okay, by end of the month or before the next batch starts in February, you then balance up the $90, okay, and that is how it works. Okay, so like I said, you don't have to break the bank. You can pay in 2 installments and we'll happily work with you. Okay, I know we have lots of questions. Okay, so I'll be taking questions now. All right. So before I take questions, have you guys been able to fill in the attendance form and um okay, just one person fill the attendance form? All right. I'm not getting a lot of thumbs up from you guys. Okay, so attendance form allows us send you the recording to this video and also material that we've used. Okay, if you want it, we're going to give it to you. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to take some of the questions on the chat now before I call Oluwa Shegun and NA. All right. So I'm from Sierra Leone. We also indicated for actually for now we only work with people in the US, UK, Canada, and people in Europe as well. Actually, okay, if you're anywhere in Germany, Lithuania, it's fine. Okay, US, Canada are the people that we currently don't work with people in Syria alone. However, we do have a wait list for people in Africa. Okay, if you want to join, okay, let's work with you. There's a wait list where you can then be informed of when we'll start to work with people in that region. Okay, what's the payment mode like? One off, you can pay once, you can pay twice, or that image you can pay once, you can pay in two installment. That's fine. Okay, so what happens if after 3 to 4 interviews and no job offer? Would the person need to pay another money? Okay, so what happens is now, like I said earlier, it is we are happy to hear that you get a job. Okay, right? But it takes both of us to get that to happen. Okay, it's not a case of, oh, I'm going to sit down, finally people getting a job, and I'll start working. No, it also requires a little bit of effort from you. So it's more of 80-20. Okay, we are doing 80% of the job. The 20 from you is what then seals it. So we are giving you the button, okay, and then finish up. Okay, so but yeah, ideally, what we guarantee you is 3 interviews. Okay, because we it's a case of we taking interview for you, will guarantee the job. Okay, but we are not taking the interview for you. All right, we are actually getting you interviews, then you need to do your part as well in getting the job. So that's why we also prep you, like for any that I showed you that earlier. And then she aced the interview, we prepped her. Okay, materials, once it was sent, look at the JD and prepped her, and she got the job eventually. Okay, same thing with um Yetunde. Okay, so that's how it works. All right, so yes, paying installments, and the specific amount to start, it's 160 for the first installment for premium. All right, and for those that want to subscribe to comprehensive, but you can subscribe for premium. Once you get the interview and you want to upgrade to comprehensive, you can also do that as well and balance up for the comprehensive. That's fine. Okay, but the startup is 160 first for the first installment, and then you pay your 90 eventually. Okay, so yes, I have people. Oluwasegun, your hand is raised. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening,
And
Oluwasegun.
yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. It was an insightful session. Just to um, add from what my colleague wrote in the group, that's not my question, but in the part where she said, "If what if you don't get the job?" and you said the whole idea is to get the job. This, from my experience, you know that when it comes to this job thing, you really need the God factor. There are so many times that the recruiters allow, because it's part of the statutory, to allow people go through the process. But there are times, for example, in my office, if I've gone to do a secondment role in a particular department, they will still put up that advert on Workday for everybody to see and apply and go through the normal process. They'll still shortlist people that have good CVs. But then for me that I've done a secondment in that particular department, once I'm shortlisted, I go through the phase of the people that are going to get interviewed. My chances of getting the job is way above the other people. So no matter how good or how fantastic they come and sound during the interview process, the fact that I've gone through a comment and they know that, okay, I have an understanding of what it entails, they would most likely focus on me first before the other, and then the other people. Why I'm saying that is because for some certain jobs where you've applied and they've not given you, when you ask for feedback, you will know from the feedback that they give you when there's nothing really to say, yeah, you were good, but somebody scored better. And there's just, and what they're telling you is just generic from those, because they are not meant to start telling you, oh, this person has, it's not, but then they'll, but it's standard for them to allow everybody go through that process. So things like that are factors, but hopefully, I don't believe, well, I'm hoping that if you go through this process, if you get it, I just wanted to point that out. So my question is, so you mentioned the ATS. So before now, I used to use different. Okay, let me start from this and then go to the next question. You mentioned that, okay, if you don't have up to a certain number of years experience and you don't have any business having a two-page CV. Now, in the case that most of us here are a little bit 1 year or below 1 year experience when it comes to our very and the some of the roles we're trying to transition to, like data analytics. Do you advise that we do one paid CV, or because, for example, use myself as an example, what I do is I when I try to apply, my current or present role is that I'm currently working, or I'm working with Amdari as a data consultant, and um, my normal job follows next. But then, in the way of trying to meet up the 8 years, I try to tweak some of the roles or some of the responsibilities I carry out in my job to say, okay, maybe I've used Excel for this to carry out this task or something like that. And at the end of the day, there's no how, because we have other experiences. The CV is already going to 2 page. So what would be your best advice on how to approach it? And again, when it comes to those job, because you also mentioned that it's good that you list out all the skills. With this ATS thing, I've also tried to use an extension on LinkedIn at times when I'm applying. When it tries to pick out the missing keywords, it goes as far as picking some, for example, let's say there's a mention of a word, stakeholders, and what they were explaining in all on your CV, the one you probably want to use, there's no stakeholders. You now want to trick it to have stakeholders. But then in some other job description on what they've done, it's not relevant to the job description itself. There's some other keywords it picks up too. Is it advisable to also make sure that you just find a way to put those words into your um what was it called, into the CV you're trying to do, or do you just um leave it on based on the job description keywords alone? And then lastly, the other part of how many job description. Say, for example, they need um, you to have experience in using the Power BI, Excel, Tablet, SQL, or maybe Python. Now, what was your best advice in terms of how many responsibilities, or would you advise that one should put under the particular data role that one is saying is doing? Because that's why for me, for example, that's why I tend to like spread it across other things I've done in the past. Just maybe I may not talk about Excel on my current um, data consultancy role with Amdari, but I will talk about Excel and things I've used Excel to do in my current role that I do, or previous roles I've done before the current one. Is that like best practice, or so we don't know where we are um, getting it right or getting it wrong? And then the last question, sorry, is because you say we might not be, because it's very difficult. I don't like trying to, tweak your CV for every job. I was thinking that what if we know that, okay, for a data analyst role, you know that there are some certain skill sets, and they want it to be evident in your what do you call it now, in your CV. For example, like Power BI, Tableau, Python, SQL. Is it possible to make to do like your CV that will have all these things? And when it has all these things, can you just use it to apply, or you have to just keep changing it based on the industry? Because, for example, maybe the role they'll be looking for in a broadcasting industry for a data analyst will be different from what they'll be looking for in a pharmaceutical. I don't know. So those are all my questions. I hope you can remember them.
I hope I can.
But they're
But
almost all centered towards the same, what's it called? But that's the things I just want to ask. Yeah. Thank
right,
you.
I think all right. So first off, actually, for those of us that are joining, um if you're joining, if I an Amdari alumni, okay, you're currently an Amdari, okay, we actually do also give discounts to Amdari alumni or Amdari's interns, okay. So what we do is, if you're joining from Amdari, you get you get to subscribe for premium package, which is $250, and get the comprehensive package. Okay, so you are paying 250, but you are getting um the comprehensive. Okay, just wanted to say that. Okay, so from Dari, just for people that are from Dari. Okay. Yes, you also said it's difficult having to tailor your CV. Like I said, it's not, if you need to do it to know it's difficult. I'm glad you've done it. Okay, it is not easy having to tailor CVs. It is very, very difficult, but that is why we say the heavy lifting will be done by us. Okay, all of that stuff is what we do. Okay, and you mentioned that for those of for people that have maybe a year or two. Okay, yes, please. Again, it shouldn't be more than one page. One pager, you are good. If you have less than 5 years, if it sometimes 5 years, maybe because you then work in multiple organizations. Okay, maybe you've left, at some every point in time you're leaving your company for another one. Maybe a little bit more than one, but it's advisable you have less than just one page of CV for less than 5 years experience. So you're looking for a junior role or a mid-level role, a one pager is fine. Okay. So okay, hold on.
Sorry,
I'm
please.
trying
When
to
you say sorry, just sorry, please. Sorry that I have to. When you say one pager, would you now advise that all the things that the job role you're applying for is looking for? Would you not advise that everything goes under? For example, now that I'm using Amdari as my most recent
yes.
experience, would you not advise that all my job description, all my job responsibilities fits in under that Amdari?
Wait. Well, okay, but then you have to. So I said I'm diary. Is there that? Is there
No, where I
um
work currently, but it's not data related. But then I always like what I do currently. I kind of um, try to infuse a bit of
exactly?
data, like when I'm trying to check what I've done. For
Mhm.
example, in terms of I try to maybe bring Excel that I need a common
Exactly.
practice to put into those ones. So that's what I'm
Beautiful.
saying. Do you would you say advice to be then hey what's of this thing about putting achievements, putting all those things. All those things is what adds up that makes CVs pass
No,
on a pager
no.
for entry road.
Having
We need all those things, so we should just take it off.
you're having achievements, you're having your references. Nah, if you
No,
need
no, not
reference,
reference. No, I'm not about of course not
no,
reference.
I'm just talking in general now. Yes, your achievements, nah, your reference, you don't need a lot of those stuff. Okay. And also, so since you have now two work experiences, I'm Dari and your previous organization where you work, yeah. So it's going
Current
to
of
be
where I work, yeah.
your current and your previous where you work previously
Yeah.
from that. So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
both of them will carry data, but I'm Dari able to screen more data than the previous one. Okay, so that is what we also do. Okay, the previous where you worked previously, even though at the time you were not proficient in Power BI or Excel or even in SQL. Okay, so some of the bullet points will carry these things, but it's going to be more pronounced in your Amdari role. Does it make sense?
Yes, then how
Okay,
many do you think it should be? What's it? Should it be up to six or max? Because
so it
from
depends. It can be 4 bullet points, it can be 5 bullet points, depending on.
because so it's what I'm saying this is I've had a mentor in my job that as a at the top senior management level, and one of the things he said is when you are trying to write about your job description, because there's too many CVs that they're trying to go through, that they always advise that keep it as short as
Mhm.
possible and don't make the bullet points also maybe max within 4 to 5. Now, if you are trying to keep it short as possible and also don't make it 4 to 5, actually express yourself, let them know what you can do. Those things really make it very
Yeah,
uh,
believe me,
difficult.
though, actually, you can't do that in 4 or 5 bullet points, to be very honest. I
And
don't
you won't
think,
sound generic.
yes,
Okay.
I'm actually looking at my CV right now, and I have 5 bullet points, I think, at the max for every job that I've worked for. Some are even three, to be very honest. Okay, some are at three. So the maximum I have here is five. Okay, minimum is three. Okay, I'm not here
And
to
that
tell
short
you
sentences, not long, like no,
at
maybe
all.
one sentence or max one line or
Two
two lines
lines, some
max.
are 2 lines, some are 1 line, some are 2 lines. Do you understand? So basically, I'm not there to tell you about it's just to give you an idea of who you are. In the interview in itself, they will have your CV there. You have your CV as well. Where they then ask you this thing, you can then answer, talk more on what you have done. The CV is not to tell them the story of what you have done, it's give an idea of what you did. Okay. So when you then now go for the interview, they will then ask you all they want to ask you based on your CV and the JD that they have out there. It's that simple. Do you understand? But believe me, you can answer all of these bullet. Like I said, 5 bullet points is the max I have for my resume, and it's a two-pager. Okay. I don't have anything that I've done. Even the five is just for one experience. The rest are three. Does it make sense?
Yes, yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I answered everything.
Yes, yes,
Then
you did. The only part I was saying is, in terms of building one generic one that covered all of those skills and how you've used them. Do you, when you're applying, the reason why you have to check some of these things is because of those keywords that they use based on the industry. Do you
Mhm.
think you still have to keep changing and you can just use those ones? 'Cause at the end of this evidence that those skills that they're looking for
You
actually
actually so okay. You actually have to for every depending on where you are applying to. The JD is what helps, is what guides you, filling that CV. Okay, what they're looking for, your CV has to speak in that direction. Okay, so say you are applying for company A now. Okay, yes, those keywords are there, but is it in alignment with what they're looking for? Do you understand? All right. So because a company is saying they're looking for somebody that has a mobile device, and then you say you have a mobile device. But for a mobile device, probably you play game on your mobile device. The company looking for someone that has mobile device that can use to snap pictures. So you are saying mobile device, but so you have to be tailored to you using your phone to snap pictures. That's what they want to see, even though you have the mobile device. Does it make sense?
yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah, it does, it does.
your phone, you say, oh, somebody that can use a phone. Yes, you have a phone, but to do what? You have to be tailored to what they're looking for. Okay, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Roshan.
yeah, it does. Thank you. Yeah.
Right. NA.
Hi,
Hi, NA.
and
So is
thank
your
you
name
so.
NA?
My name is not NA. Thank you so much. It's just like as an abbreviation or something.
Oh,
Thank you
okay.
so much for your time. So I've got a couple of questions I want to ask. Right, this is with respect to ensuring that the uh result is gotten after you've signed up to talent loop. What's the maximum duration or wait time before you can say, oh, you start seeing results or you're expected to start seeing results? This is with respect to getting interviews. Yeah. This is with respect to start getting interviews. So what's the maximum wait time before you can say, okay, if I don't see result by this time, then something is definitely wrong.
All right. Very brilliant question. NA. So what happens is for every client is different. Okay. We have a time frame we like to work with people. Okay. In 2 months, on an average, we'll get people that 3 interviews. However, now for some people, in less than 1 month, we get them 3, 4 interviews. Okay, even more than what you promised them. We promised you three. At the end of the day, you got four. Okay, at three, we've delivered what we have promised to deliver. Okay, now there are some people that after the 8th week, okay, so we sometimes do 8 to 10 weeks. Okay, after the 8th week, all right, we've gotten you 2 interviews. Okay, remain 1 interview. We would not let you do, oh, NA, we are done with you. It's already 8 weeks. Okay, we'll keep you and then get you the third interview. Now, that might then extend the wait time to maybe 10 weeks. In some very rare cases, 12 weeks. Okay,
Oh,
3 months. Okay,
oh,
that is
that
what so that is what is already 12 months, and that is like say some very rare cases you get to the 12th month and the 12th week. Now, um, like I say, for some people in less than 1 month, you get a three. Okay,
okay.
some
If
people it just yeah.
sorry, if you have a candidate or a client, let me not say candidate. Sorry, it's not like that is that I would say client. If you have a client for months, let me say 6 months, for example, and there've been no significant progress uh or interview, what do you do in that case? Is there an avenue or a process that's been outlined for a refund?
So now because I don't know if you joined at the beginning, I didn't also mention that because we also pay for some job boards. Okay, the idea is to introduce results. Okay, we don't work with people for 6 months. All right, once we at the 10th, 12th week is not possible where you don't even get results.
Mm.
Okay, we don't work with people, clients where you get to the 6th month, there's no results.
Okay.
Okay,
Because why I'm saying this is because I'm not new to Amdari, to Talent Loop.
okay.
I'm saying this because do you I know someone that's been with Talent Loop, yeah, for 6 months, uh, without any significant progress or without one interview.
Talent, you're talking about talent loop on the, 'cause I think you're mixing them up now. We don't have
Talent Loop, there's Talent
nah,
Loop, yeah.
nah.
And I want to know, do you audit your um your experts that does the job? And how do you know that the expert is doing what they're supposed to do? Because I've been listening to you and I was like, oh, it's your marketing skills is bravo. It's really good. And I want to know if you have someone 6 months, this is not someone that's new to the industry or new to the job market, yeah, that you say, oh, it's because of lack of experience. And this person is not like, and when this person brought in their CV, you didn't, Talent Loop did not do anything because the CV was perfect according to them. This person joined Talent Loop because they are so busy with their own job that they are not, just like you say, if you're busy, you don't have to do everything yourself. Yeah. They're so busy with their own job, even with the weekends and everything, that they need an expert like Talent Loop to do the applications for them on their behalf. Why they also do when they have the chance. You're taking the burden and just let the person prepare for interview. And when you pay for the interview plan, you also prep the person up and make sure the person is good enough for the interview, right?
Yes,
If you have someone in this case not new to the to even the job market or anything, and you have the person in your system, in your database for 6 months without a single interview, how do you go about this? Do you make the refund to this person because if they don't need the service anymore? Because if you had to wait for 6 months, I don't think you need the service anymore after that. It's way too long for not a single interview or a single significant progress. And why I asked if you audit your experts is because this person went into an application done by your experts and you saw something that uh will I say a beginner, like beginner's mistake. Beginners would make that mistakes, like beginner's mistake, something that someone that is not into even this job would not make. But it's been like even your experts don't keep to the bargain. They don't do the applications like the number of applications that was promised. And I don't want to start saying too much, but I just want to ask, is there a process for a refund at this point if you have to wait for 6 months